Every day your mind whispers. It tells you what is possible, what is safe, what is comfortable. But comfort, my friend, is the most dangerous cage a human being can build. It is lined with soft walls and filled with pleasant distractions, yet it slowly steals your power, your discipline, your potential. You see, the mind is not your enemy, but it is not your master either. The mind is a tool, and like any tool, if you do not learn to control it, it will control you. When you wake in
the morning and feel resistance, that heaviness that says stay in bed, take it easy, tomorrow will be better. That is not your body speaking. That is your mind protecting its comfort. But growth does not happen in comfort. Transformation begins the moment you step beyond the mind's limits. Pain, struggle, doubt, these are the gates you must pass through. They are not punishments, they are invitations. Every time you feel the urge to quit, you are standing at the threshold
of your next level. And if you stay, if you breathe, if you move through it, you will see what was always true. You are stronger than your mind. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you can become. Consistency is the hammer that shapes your spirit. Focus is the sword that cuts through illusion. Do not seek an easier life. Seek to become a stronger human being. Do not wish for fewer challenges. Wish for greater wisdom. Do not wait for motivation. Build habits that make motivation unnecessary. The mountain does not move for the one who complains about its height. The mountain bows to the one who climbs. So today, not tomorrow, take one step toward mastery. Breathe with intention. Move with awareness. Do the hard thing. Embrace the silence. When your mind says stop, whisper back, watch me. Because the day you learn to rise above your mind, you will discover the greatest power of all, freedom. There is a battle taking place right now. Not in the streets, not in the world outside, but within you. Every thought, every hesitation, every surge of emotion becomes part of that silent war. Most people think the hardest opponent is found in the world around them, other people difficult circumstances or a lack of opportunity. But the truth is, the greatest challenge is invisible. It lives inside your own mind. It's that quiet, persistent voice that tells you what you can't do, what you shouldn't try, and what might go wrong. The mind builds walls where none exist, and most people spend their lives confined within those walls, believing they are boundaries of reality. They are not. They are boundaries of belief. Your mind whispers that you are tired, that you are not ready, that it's safer to wait for a better time. It convinces you that discomfort is a warning, that fear is danger, and that failure is something to avoid. Yet, if you look closely, none of this is true. The mind's first instinct is always protection, not progress. It was designed to keep you alive, not to help you evolve. And so, when you begin to step outside your comfort zone, when you start to push your limits, the mind resists. It calls out every reason why you should stop. It exaggerates the risk and minimizes your strength, but in that resistance lies the opportunity to grow. Each moment of hesitation is a doorway. Each spark of doubt is an invitation to master yourself. The mind is powerful, yes, but it is also habitual. It repeats patterns that have kept you safe in the past, even when those same patterns now hold you back. That is why change feels so uncomfortable. You are rewriting your inner programming. You are confronting the mental scripts that have defined who you believe you are. The mind clings to the familiar, even when the familiar is pain, disappointment, or limitation. It prefers the known misery over the unknown possibility. This is why so few people truly transform. They are trapped in mental patterns that tell them, this is who I am, and they never question it deeply enough to realize they could be something more. To become stronger than your mind, you must learn to observe it rather than obey it. Watch how it reacts when you face discomfort. Notice the excuses it creates when discipline is required. See the way it distracts you when you are close to breaking through. In those moments you must stand still. You must breathe and remember that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the silence that hears the noise. Once you separate who you truly are from what your mind tells you, you begin to regain control. The mind is a servant. It should take orders, not give them. But most people live in complete reversal. The servant rules the master. They are moved by every impulse, every emotion, every fleeting fear. To reclaim your inner strength, you must reverse that relationship. Train your mind like you would train the body. Through repetition, discipline, and awareness, it can be conditioned to serve your highest purpose. When the mind says, I can't, you must act to prove it wrong. When it says, I'm afraid, you must step forward to show it that fear is not fatal. When it says, I am tired, you must remind it that the body is still strong, that energy returns when purpose is clear. You will begin to realize that the limits you once thought were real were never made of iron. They were made of thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. When you wake in the morning and feel resistance, that heaviness that says stay in bed, take it easy, tomorrow will be better, that is not your body speaking, that is your mind protecting its comfort. The body is capable of far more than the mind allows it to believe. The body is honest, it feels fatigue, yes, but it also understands rhythm, recovery and endurance. It knows that movement creates energy and that effort renews strength. The mind, however, interprets this natural resistance as a sign to stop, to withdraw, to preserve the illusion of safety. This is why so many dreams remain unfinished and so many goals remain untouched, not because people lack ability, but because they surrender to the first whisper of the mind that says, you don't have to do this today. Growth does not happen in comfort. Every meaningful transformation requires friction. Just as the sword becomes sharp only through the resistance of the stone, you too become refined through the challenges you face. Yet when resistance appears, most people treat it as a warning rather than a teacher. They assume struggle means something is wrong, when in truth struggle is evidence that something is awakening. The discomfort you feel when pushing yourself beyond familiar limits is the signal that you are expanding. Every breath that burns in your lungs, every muscle that trembles, every moment you feel uncertain, these are not signs of weakness, they are the living proof of change taking place. The mind will always try to convince you that ease is peace, but ease is not peace, it is stagnation. True peace comes only from alignment, when your actions match your purpose, and purpose does not dwell in comfort, it lives in challenge, in persistence, in the daily decision to rise above the excuses your mind creates. You see, the mind loves patterns. It seeks repetition because repetition feels safe. So when you try to build new habits, when you decide to break old ones, your mind will fight back. It will whisper, you've done enough. It will remind you of all the times you failed before. It will bring up every reason why this effort might not work. And that is precisely the moment when you must move. That is the moment when strength is forged. You must train yourself to act, not according to how you feel, but according to what you have committed to do. Feelings are temporary, fleeting as clouds passing across the sky. Commitment is the clear blue that remains behind them. If you wait for motivation, you will remain waiting for most of your life. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that endures. Each time you choose action over hesitation, you strengthen a muscle far deeper than any physical one. You strengthen the muscle of will, and the more you use it, the quieter the resistance becomes. The secret is not to eliminate resistance, but to understand it. Resistance will always appear before growth. It is the threshold that separates who you are from who you are becoming. When you feel it, do not turn away. Breathe through it. Step into it. Let it teach you what it needs to teach. There is no progress without pressure, no mastery without challenge. The discomfort you resist today will become the strength you rely on tomorrow. Each time you move through the hesitation, each time you refuse to listen to the mind's plea for comfort, you reclaim a part of your power that was once hidden beneath fear and doubt, pain, struggle, doubt. These are the gates you must pass through. They are not punishments, they are invitations. Every human being who has ever achieved greatness has walked through these same gates. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck lies not in talent or luck, but in how they respond when these gates appear. Most people turn back at the first sign of pain, mistaking it for chancel bolif, for a warning to retreat. But pain is not there to stop you, it is there to show you where you still need to grow. Every discomfort, every challenge, every failure is a message from life asking, how much do you truly want this? Struggle is the natural language of progress. Without struggle there can be no strength. The seed must push through the darkness of the soil before it can reach the light. The same law applies to you. You cannot evolve without resistance. You cannot discover your inner power until you are tested. The pain you feel in moments of difficulty is the stretching of your capacity. It is life expanding you beyond what you were yesterday. Yet most people spend their lives avoiding pain, seeking shortcuts, or hoping for an easy path. They want transformation without the process that creates it. But the truth is simple. There is no growth without breaking, no evolution without effort, no mastery without endurance. Doubt too is not your enemy. Doubt is the shadow of potential. It shows up when you stand at the edge of something greater than yourself. When your mind fills with uncertainty, it means you are stepping into new territory. Doubt asks, are you ready? And your actions must be the answer. The more you move forward, despite uncertainty, the more trust you build in yourself. Confidence is not born from success, it is built from surviving your own doubts and continuing anyway. When you face moments where you question your worth, your ability or your strength, understand that these are the very moments shaping you into who you are meant to become. Pain teaches presence, struggle teaches patience, doubt teaches faith. Together they refine the human spirit. They strip away illusion and comfort until only truth remains, the truth of your resilience, your endurance, your ability to rise again and again no matter how many times you fall. When you stop running from pain and begin to listen to what it has to teach, you realize that it was never there to harm you. It was guiding you toward awareness, discipline, and strength. Every challenge you face holds within it a hidden lesson, a chance to awaken something deeper. When the body feels exhausted and the mind screams to stop, that is the exact moment when transformation is closest. The mind wants to protect you from discomfort, but the spirit wants you to evolve between those two voices. You must choose which one will lead your life. If you choose the spirit, you will learn that endurance is not about pushing harder, but about surrendering to the process. The moment you stop fighting pain and start embracing it as a teacher, it loses its power to control you. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice created by resistance. When you accept the struggle, when you move through the doubt, when you understand that every hardship is preparing you for the next stage of your journey, you begin to see that the gates you once feared were never walls blocking your way, they were doors waiting for your courage to open them. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you can become. It is not built overnight, nor is it given by motivation or inspiration. Discipline is earned through repetition, through the quiet choices made when no one is watching. It is forged in the silence of early mornings, in the moments when comfort whispers for you to rest, but you rise anyway. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about respect. Respect for your own potential, respect for your time, and respect for the purpose that drives you forward. Many seek quick results, but discipline is the art of consistency, the willingness to move steadily, patiently, even when progress seems invisible. The mind loves the idea of achievement, but resists the process of earning it. It wants the reward without the repetition, the outcome without the effort. Discipline is what stands between desire and fulfillment. It does not depend on how you feel, because feelings are unstable. Some days you will wake up inspired, others you will feel drained, uncertain, or uninspired. Yet discipline remains steady, a commitment made to your higher self rather than your fleeting emotions. When you act out of discipline, you are no longer driven by the temporary noise of the mind. You are guided by purpose. Consistency is the quiet force that shapes transformation. Greatness is not built in moments of excitement. It is built in the small, often unnoticed acts of persistence. Every repetition, every deliberate effort, every refusal to quit is a brick laid on the foundation of mastery. There will be days when your progress feels invisible, when it seems that all your effort is wasted. But this is where discipline must hold. The bamboo plant grows underground for years before breaking through the surface. It builds a strong root system, unseen by the world, preparing for its moment of emergence. The same truth applies to your growth. You may not see the results immediately, but each disciplined act strengthens the unseen foundation of your potential. Focus is the companion of discipline. Without focus, energy is scattered, and scattered energy achieves nothing. Discipline gives you the ability to direct your attention fully toward what matters most. It allows you to say no to distractions, no to excuses, no to anything that pulls you away from your path. The world will constantly tempt you with noise and comfort, with endless opportunities to escape the work. But focus, sharpened by discipline, cuts through that noise like a blade. It brings clarity where confusion once lived, and through that clarity, action becomes effortless. To cultivate discipline, you must treat it as a practice, not a performance. It is not about perfection, but about persistence. Each day offers a new chance to recommit, to return to the task, to build strength one step at a time. There will be failures and setbacks, but discipline transforms failure into feedback. It teaches you to adapt rather than quit, to learn rather than retreat. Through discipline, the mind becomes quiet and the body becomes strong. It is not an act of control, but of freedom. Freedom from chaos, from laziness, from doubt. Discipline is the steady fire that burns beneath purpose, the structure that allows creativity, power, and mastery to exist. It is not a moment of effort, it is a way of living, a rhythm of awareness and action that carries you forward no matter the obstacle, no matter the weight of the day, no matter the noise of the mind. ChatGPT said, "Do not seek an easier life, seek to become a stronger human being." Life will never stop testing you. The challenges may change in form, but they will always come. Many people spend their energy trying to rearrange the world so it feels comfortable, hoping that someday the road will be smooth enough for them to walk without effort. But the truth is, no path worth walking is free of obstacles. The purpose of difficulty is not to break you, but to reveal how strong you already are. When you stop wishing for ease and begin preparing for challenge, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to a master of experience. Each hardship that enters your life carries a lesson, and every lesson, when understood, expands your strength. The storms you face are not there to punish you, they are there to purify you. They strip away what is unnecessary, excuses, fears, illusions, until what remains is something unshakable. Strength does not appear from comfort, it appears from endurance. It is built through the moments when everything feels heavy, yet you keep moving forward. Every time you rise after being knocked down, every time you find courage in chaos, you are forging a strength that no easy life could ever give you. When you seek an easier life, you ask the world to change. When you seek to be stronger, you change yourself. This is the essence of growth.
I'll shift.
But your inner world, your discipline, your mindset, these are within your control. When your inner strength grows, it does not matter how strong the wind blows, you learn to bend, not break. Strength is not the absence of pain, it is the ability to hold steady within it. True strength comes from perspective, from learning to see struggle not as an obstacle but as a teacher. Each difficulty teaches patience, humility, and resilience. The mountain you climb trains your lungs and legs, but it also trains your will. The weight you carry strengthens your muscles, but it also strengthens your mind. In this way, every challenge becomes an opportunity to rise higher. Life's greatest transformations happen not when circumstances improve, but when you improve in the face of them. There is a power that awakens inside you the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" That single shift transforms pain into purpose.
When you stop avoiding discomfort and start embracing it, you build the kind of strength that remains calm in the storm. The easy life may look peaceful from a distance, but it is an illusion, a stagnant pond that never moves, never grows. The stronger life, however, is like a flowing river. It carves its way through stone, not by force, but by persistence. It finds its way through obstacles, because movement is its nature. The same is true for you. Growth, power, and wisdom are not found in
The search for ease. They are born in the willingness to face what is hard, to endure what is uncertain, and to keep moving forward when every part of you wants to stop. ChatGPT said, "Do not wish for fewer challenges, wish for greater wisdom." Challenges are inevitable. They are woven into the fabric of life itself. Every day brings situations that test your patience, your focus, and your strength. It is not the presence of challenge that defines your path, but your ability to face it with awareness. The most people spend their lives hoping that the road ahead will become easier, that circumstances will bend to their will. Yet, even if life were to remove every obstacle, growth would still require friction. Without difficulty, there is no development. Without opposition, there is no progress. The mind often confuses ease with happiness, but real fulfillment does not come from a life without challenges. It comes from a mind capable of meeting those challenges with wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to see clearly even when everything around you feels uncertain. It does not mean knowing all the answers. It means understanding how to respond when the answers are not clear. Challenges bring confusion, pressure, and fear. They strip away what is superficial and expose the truth of your inner world. Wisdom allows you to stay calm in that exposure, to observe rather than react, to adapt instead of resist. When you meet difficulty with wisdom, you transform what once felt unbearable into a teacher sent to expand your understanding of yourself. To gain wisdom, you must be willing to experience. Books and lessons can guide you, but real wisdom grows from lived truth, from stepping into uncertainty, failing, reflecting, and trying again. Every time you confront a problem and remain open instead of fearful, you add to that inner library of understanding. The person who avoids challenge remains shallow in spirit, never developing the depth that comes from facing the unknown. Wisdom deepens with exposure, with humility, and with the patience to learn from life rather than control it. When you stop wishing for fewer challenges, you stop seeing yourself as fragile. You begin to trust in your ability to adapt, to grow stronger through experience. The wise do not fear change because they understand that change is the nature of existence. They see that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Every obstacle hides an opportunity for mastery. When you cultivate this mindset, even the most difficult moments become meaningful. Instead of running from them, you study them. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you ask, "What can I learn?" And this single shift transforms suffering into strength. Challenges are mirrors. They reflect your current state of being. Through them you discover your patterns, your fears, and your attachments. Wisdom is what allows you to look into that mirror without judgment, to learn from what you see, and to evolve. When your understanding deepens, the same problems that once caused frustration no longer disturb you. The challenge itself may remain the same, but you have changed, and because you have changed, your experience of it transforms completely. This is the power of wisdom. It does not remove the storm, but it teaches you how to stand still within it. It gives you the ability to find clarity amidst confusion, peace amidst pressure, and purpose amidst pain. When you possess wisdom, you no longer wish for the world to become easier. You wish to become more capable of navigating it with grace and strength.